What's up guys? Today I'm going to go through a complete walkthrough of all the reasons someone may be getting rejected when applying for their Seller Central account. So this video is for two types of people. The first type of person is someone who has not applied yet for their Seller Central account and want to avoid all the horror stories of getting rejected and getting suspended. Or two, you've already applied for your account and you have gotten suspended or rejected and you're looking for solutions of how to fix that. This video is perfect for both types of people. I'm going to break down and walk through all the traps, all the reasons someone may be getting suspended or rejected, so you can problem solve and get your account back up and running, or just avoid the hassle completely from the start and be off and running with no hiccups when starting to sell on Amazon. So the first thing you need to know is when you apply and complete your registration for an Amazon Seller Central account, them asking for additional documentations or even suspending or rejecting your application the first go around is totally normal. It's nothing to freak out about. They probably do this with 50 to 60% of sellers to begin with. So don't panic here. There's many ways to right this ship. They could have asked for more documents or more info regarding your account for many types of reasons. The documents you sent in weren't in the right format. It could be missing information. It could be, information doesn't match up to the account versus your documents. And also can be from just your company being too new. So the list is pretty long here. You can even be an individual seller, upgrade to professional plan, and then they put your account into review and ask for a ton of documents and information to get your account, from this pending status. So unfortunately for us sellers, there's a long list of small things that could trigger Amazon to reject us, suspend us, and even ask for more documentation. And I'm looking to go through every single one of those small reasons. That way you can put all the pieces together and make sure we're giving ourselves the best chance to get unsuspended and go ahead and get selling on Amazon. Before we get in the nitty gritty, I just have to say and remind everybody to make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that little notifications bell. This helps me out pushing more videos to more people, getting the word out there to help other people get their account up and running. Also, just poke that like button for me. Just poke it. It helps out my channel tremendously here. But otherwise, guys, let's get into the nitty gritty. This is the fun stuff. This is the good stuff. So just hang with me here. Don't be afraid to take notes. Don't be afraid to come back to this video. It's going to be a little dense just because that's how Amazon is. And there's a lot of little things I'm going to cover in this video. So we all know Amazon is ruthless. They'll suspend you. They'll reject your account. Even if you've never sold an item on Amazon before, if you have no selling history whatsoever, you've done nothing wrong, they will still suspend you, reject you, and ask for more information regardless. So the best way to picture this and to get your mindset right to tackle this task, just think of Amazon as a huge, massive, giant computer with everything in their system being automated. So when you input information, just think of them getting ones and zeros, right? I know I'm not a huge coder or anything like that. Just know computers get information with ones and zeros here. If Amazon gets a one where they're expecting a zero, they're going to throw a red flag up and they're going to suspend or reject your application or just suspend your account in general. So we need to figure out how this big automated machine works so we can give them a one when they expect a one or give them a zero when they expect a zero, so everything goes through smoothly and we can go on just selling good products on Amazon and making money, right? Let me start painting a clear picture for you guys. So say your account's suspended or it's rejected. The first thing you're going to see is an email like this. So I'll put up on the screen so you can see it. You can also see this in your performance notifications on your Seller Central account if you have access to that. Amazon has many different versions of this email, so you could see something a little different. So don't freak out if that's not the one that you got. Just know that anything they're asking for in the email, I'm going to cover at some point throughout this video. But since I see this one the most often, let's tackle this one first. So the first thing they're asking for is a utility bill. This is by far the document that creates the most issues for people, especially if you're out of country or you have a registered agent in some other state and where you don't have access to the business address. So what they're looking for here is a utility bill with your business name on it and your business address. If it's a personal account, then it'd be your personal name and your personal address. And this utility bill could be for electricity, gas, water and sewer, waste, TV and internet, and even a landline phone. What they do not accept here is a mobile phone. So hopefully you get utility bills in the mail anyways, and this is just a breeze for you. But otherwise, this can be a very difficult task. And this subject is solved in so many different ways with so many different types of people in different situations. And it would take a whole other video for me to explain this topic in whole. So that's exactly what I did. I made a whole video on this topic, walking through every single situation. I'm going to link that down in the description. Then go watch it after this video. I only say that because you have to do everything right in this video first on your account before the utility bill even matters, right? So say you get the utility bill, figure that out, but if you're not doing what I'm talking about in this video right and putting all the little pieces together, then you're just gonna get rejected anyways and not really know why. Remember guys, Amazon's like a computer, so if you get a small detail wrong and your utility bill is right, it doesn't matter, you're gonna end up in the same place anyways. Next on the email, what they're asking for is a business license. Good news here, you don't have to send them anything for this. So a business license for people who provide a service in a state, say a plumber or a carpenter, or something that requires a business license or a certification to be able to do that service. An online business does not need a business license. Next, you'll need to include any listings you've been selling on Amazon or are active on your account. In most people's circumstances, they have nothing, so you actually don't need to send anything in for this if you have nothing going on with your account at this moment. And remember guys, that anything you send into Amazon or put onto your account, like credit card or a bank account, must have the same matching information that you already put on the account, like business name, business address, phone number, meaning these should all match up for your account information, your bank statement, your credit card statement, your utility bill, and everything else that you send into Amazon. So now guys, let's say you submitted all these docs, right? You replied to their email, you submitted a case to get this all figured out, or say you already, replied before watching this video. Well, this process can take up to 30 days just to get a reply from them. So you have to be patient here. And I know guys, it hurts the soul here just to wait and have them decide your fate. I've been through this so many times. I feel your pain, but you guys just have to be patient here and trust me. So hopefully that works for you guys. If not, the next email you're gonna receive looks like this one. And this one is saying they reviewed your documentation, reviewed your account, and you still may not sell on Amazon as long as Jeff Bezos is alive. Now I know guys, this email is very, very scary. It's a dreaded email, but just know that this is not permanent. So do not panic guys, you can still appeal this, still reply and get your account back up and running. I've seen this email many, many times, and this is not the end of the road by any means. So what this most likely means, especially say you got the utility bill right and you got everything else right that I've talked about in this video so far, you are most likely missing a small little detail somewhere in the giant cog of Amazon that is getting a red flag on your account. Now let's talk about all these little small details here so you can check them off one by one and to make sure that we're doing everything possible to get your account up and running and that you're giving Amazon exactly what they want. But the first small issue possibly being that you're sending in your documents wrongly into Amazon, meaning your formatting could be wrong or the way you're sending it is wrong in some way. So let's talk about what Amazon does not like when it comes to sending in documents. They do not like screenshots of documents, so make sure you send in the full document itself and not just a screenshot. They do not like bank passbooks, except in a few countries like Japan and India, I believe. Otherwise, guys, if they're asking for a bank information, send them a bank statement, not a bank passbook, unless you live in one of those countries. They do not like partial documents. Make sure you send in the full one, even if it's nonsense. So your bank statement's 6 pages long, and the last 3 documents are nothing but just weird stuff that doesn't matter. Still send them exactly how the file came to you. They do not like Word docs, so .docx. Do not send those in. They also hate Excel files, zip files, and they really hate when you edit documents before sending them in. So make sure you send in the documents unaltered, not touched, everything like that, and avoid everything I just said to make sure your account's not being suspended for a stupid reason. Because they won't tell you, right? They won't tell you a thing. They'll say, nope, you can't sell, and they won't tell you why. So we gotta make sure we do all these things right. What Amazon does like are if you have to send in IDs, make sure they're color scans, make sure it's front and back, say it's a driver's license, front and back, send this in one file. If it's a passport, just that one page that shows your face, and also you can include the signature page and send that in one file. Again, a color scan there as well. For documents, they like entire documents, like I said, unaltered, unedited, not partial documents, and they like it without clipped edges. So do not send in documents with clipped edges. You should always send your documents in PDF form or PNG form unless told otherwise. This is a big deal if you send in JPEG. They'll deny you, won't tell you why, everything like that. The documents must also be in accepted language, which you can Google and look up there. Some of the main languages, obviously English, German, Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, simplified, I believe, Japanese. These languages are all accepted, so make sure that if you're sending in a different language than English, make sure that language is on their approved list and that you're not sending in something they don't accept. Now let's say you say, Cameron, I've done all these things, I followed your instructions all above, I've heard these things before, but now I'm still getting rejected and I don't know why. Well, to be honest with you guys, we're just touching the tip of the iceberg here with all this information. So let's talk about, if this information is all correct for you, but you're still getting rejected. Let's take a step back and go through the registration process to see what we might be missing there. So it could be your bank account or bank statement. So let's walk through that real quick. The bank's name, the bank's logo, and the address must be visible on the statement. The account holder's name must match the info on your Seller Central account. The statement must be issued within the last 90 days. So if it's old, it will not work. This is the same thing with utility bill. It must be within 90 days old. This doesn't apply for anybody, but make sure any phone number that you see on statements matches the phone number you put on the account. Again, doesn't apply for everybody, but if it does, make sure everything's matching up there as well. It could be that Amazon's not accepting your bank. They're just not on the list of accepted banks or countries that they accept banks from. Amazon supports USA banks, Canadian banks, and even Mexican banks. And they include most big banks around the world. So if it's a big bank, internationally known, you're most likely going to be okay here. But if Amazon doesn't accept your bank and you think this is an issue, you can also get a TransferWise account, a Payoneer account, and also a Mercury Online account to link up to Amazon and be a middleman for your funds. So Amazon will send in, say to TransferWise, that's a big one. They'll hold your money, then TransferWise will send it to your bank account, whether, say you're in Sweden or China, or wherever it may be. And it will be seen as an approved bank on the Amazon account. If you guys need more help with online US bank accounts, this is a big subject and take a whole another video to explain this. Again, I went ahead and made that video. I'll link that down in the description so you guys can take a look at it after this video, because we're not quite done at putting all these little pieces together and checking off all the check boxes to make sure you're good to go, even after you have your bank account all figured out. Next, let's talk credit cards. So we must have an internationally chargeable credit card on our Amazon Seller Central account. Just meaning that it's a card pretty much accepted anywhere. Think Visa, think MasterCard, all these cards right here. And then when Amazon pulls money from this card, or has to pull money from it, they can pull it from the same currency that marketplace is in. So if it's in the Amazon.com marketplace, they want to pull in USD, obviously, or Canadian, they can pull in Canadian dollars. You get my example there. This credit card must also have a valid billing address from one of the approved countries on Amazon that you can sell from. I'll put the list up here for you guys to scroll through. You can also Google Seller Central approved countries list and see it there. You can see it's a very long list, but hopefully you're on that list and your country and your credit card are all good to go there. And I know a few of you right now are thinking, Cam, what about debit cards? Do those work? Do they not? What's going on with debit cards? I always get asked these questions about debit cards, so let's tackle that real quick. And to shut you down real quick, the answer for that is no, for about 95% of cases. The only time Amazon accepts debit cards, and it seems like they're moving away from this even entirely as well in the near future, and that is when it's able to be charged by credit, so not debit here. Your debit card will be charged as credit. Some countries have this feature for sure. And also from banks like Visa or American Express, where you got this debit card from, which they know a lot of in the credit community, obviously. That is why I always suggest you use a real credit card on the account. It could be personal at first, or business, and you could switch to either one later. So you're all good there if you don't have a business card set up right away. But trying a debit card on the account just seems like a waste of time for me. Guys, if they don't accept it, which in most cases they won't tell you what the reason is you're getting suspended. So you're just gonna keep getting suspended without knowing why. And it's just gonna be one of those little things you don't know what's going on to get this whole cog of a machine moving in the right direction. So I advise against debit cards, but again, use at your own risk. I'm not your mom or your dad telling you what to do here. I'm just trying to give you the information to help you out as best as possible. And just so you guys are aware, Amazon doesn't accept alternate charge methods for the account. Things like prepaid credit cards, checks, gift certificates, and even PayPal and other online, payment softwares or systems like PayPal. Like I said before, make sure your credit card information matches up to the best of ability to your account info, that your credit card doesn't have a minimal charge amount on the card, and that the card will never get denied if Amazon tries to charge it. If it gets denied or has a minimum charge on it and Amazon can't get through it, they're gonna suspend your account and go ahead and just shut you down there. You guys also might have to fill out and set up some tax information on your Amazon account depending on where you're signing up from and how you signed up. For US citizens, it would be the W-9 forms, and for international sellers, it would be the W8 Ben, I believe it's called. So make sure that you guys are filling that out correctly and getting that back to Amazon as soon as possible. Some other quick things, guys. I told you this would be a long one. If this has been helpful so far, again, just poke that like button for me, get this video out to more people, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But some quick other issues that could be causing your account to get suspended, let's go through all those real quick right now so you can check those off as well. And the second one being, don't make second accounts. For the love of gosh, don't do this, please. To do this, you need written permission from Amazon. I see too many people out there get suspended from their first account, and then they go ahead and say, forget about it, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a second account. Huge mistake here. They'll link both accounts together, and now you have two accounts to get unsuspended, not just one, which is a huge headache, trust me there. So make sure you guys always take care of the first account, get that unsuspended, and go from there. Do not make a second account. If you have a really old account, say you started this like 4 years ago, make sure you go find that account because they'll link those together as well. Go take care of that account, get it up and running again, and use that account. Plus, if it's 4 years old, that's great, seller protection essentially, just because Amazon trusts you because you haven't been scheming for 4 years. Whereas they're a little bit more distrusting of a brand new account, if that makes sense. Something you guys should know as well, you can sell as an individual on account or as a business. Meaning you could sell as Camron James, a sole proprietor, just the guy, or you can sell as Camron James LLC. The LLC has more protection for your personal assets and protecting you against, lawsuits, everything like that. But any way you can get started, the better, right guys? So do what you have to do to get going there. Yes, Amazon can request more information if you're a brand new business, but if you have all the proper documentation for this business, it should not matter at all. If you want to be safe, just make sure that bank statement, if it's brand new, get a few transactions going through there. Maybe, wait 45 to 90 days for your LLC before submitting the applications. But otherwise, if it was me personally, I would just go right at this. Just make sure I'm doing everything I possibly can to make everything legit as possible. So I can send in these documents to Amazon and get going there. So before you make your account, guys, if you're watching this proactively, make sure you get everything ready to go. So all your documents, your utility bill, setting up the business bank account, or even your online business account if you have a TransferWise, Mercury account, whatever it may be if you're international. Again, guys, be patient when waiting for a reply from them. It can take up to 30 days. And in most cases, it actually tell you to spam Amazon until you got what you wanted, what you needed. But in this case, I do not recommend that. Be patient. They do not like multiple cases in the situation, and it's just going to delay your process even further. That's why I always recommend starting this process as soon as possible, just because there can be some delays and hiccups to get your account, moving in the right direction. So, if you have a lot of product research to do, or if you're saying I'm not going to start the account until I find a product, I don't advise this. Get the account going first because you can go through some hiccups, and while you're going through that limbo, just be doing your product research during that time. This is also new, guys, and something you should be aware about. They're also starting to send out PIN codes through the mail to your address to verify your account. This is totally normal. Again, as soon as you get that letter, get that PIN back to them and just get things moving forward there. Holy guys, that was a long one. That was a lot of info, and who knew making a Seller Central account would be so damn difficult. But there are not a lot of places out there that you can get all this information in one spot. So this is why I made this video. Again, I know it's a long one. Rewatch it. You have to take notes. But this is so important. I wanted to get all this information here because it takes everything, all these small little pieces to get your account moving forward, and make sure you check all the boxes so you know exactly why they're suspending your account. And like I said, guys, if you have to rewatch it, no difficulties there. Honestly, I'd be a little insulted if you didn't have to rewatch this and take more notes, because it took me weeks to make this video. It took me a long time to prepare. And so if you got it in just one go at it, I'm a little disappointed in myself because I thought, because I was struggling so much with this myself. So come back, take notes, whatever you have to do there, guys. There's no harm in rewatching this video because you definitely want to do this right the first time, then have to go through the whole suspension rejection process later if you're not quite there yet, and avoid that whole situation as a whole. If you have any questions at all, hit me in the comments down below. I've also linked a ton of other videos on my channel about Seller Central registration. That way you guys can go down there, watch every single one, the utility bill, make a US bank account, me going through the whole walkthrough on my screen, setting up my Seller Central account so you don't make mistakes, and a full back-end walkthrough of how Seller Central looks and how everything works on the back end. So make sure you guys watch all those videos down below. Again, like I said, I know I'm a broken record with this one, but all these little pieces have to fit together. So that's why I'm telling you about those videos down below. So that way you guys do not miss a thing, know exactly how to set up your account, and avoid just a horror story, that you hear so much about with making Seller Central accounts. And again, guys, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't before. Again, hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. I hope that helped out a ton. I'm exhausted from this video. I hope your brains are working a little better than mine at this moment. That's it. Peace out, guys.